Stacey, they sort of challenged you in that second quarter, but then you really put the foot down. How pleasing is that as a way to finish a series that you'd already wrapped up?
Yeah, I think the girls spoke about it quite a bit as to how we wanted to finish the series off and how we want to continue to drive standards from within and not have external people or teams or any kind of expectation being the driver. And I think the way in which they attacked each quarter with the combinations that we had out there just shows that they're growing in confidence and there's a real connection and cohesion out there.
Obviously the last game before the Com Games, did you get what you wanted out of it? I know you tested out some different combinations, as you just mentioned about the intensity. Was that what you needed? Yeah,
we've got quite a lot out of it. And I think even just in that game, whilst the score was what it was, you could still see Jamaica was chipping the ball around. It was hard to get ball on hand at little points in time, and I think that's the part where that kind of experience and understanding what we have to do to be able to be brave to find lines to the ball, be able to keep moving the ball with confidence. Latania's still in that circle and has great athleticism, but when you function as a unit you can kind of nullify that kind of impact.
Stacey, right on the win. How good was it for Liz tonight and reaching 100 games and becoming the 6th player to do that?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and I think we've all said as being a mid-quarter as well, being the first one in there, I think, it just shows how robust she is, how well she's played over the years to get that kind of consistency to be out on court all the time. And, the team just has so much respect for her. She leads by example. She's so humble. She certainly didn't want this time to be about her, but we certainly made sure that she was aware of how incredible it was. And, it's an honour to be a part of her journey.
Courtney, you've played a fair few of those tests with her. How special was it? There's some beautiful moments with the Jamaica girls as well with that guard of honour at the end.
Yeah, obviously huge. Like Stacey just said it, Lizzie is such the heart and soul of this team. She is an amazing person on and off the court, and she's the kind of captain that you want to follow into a battle. So I think for her to be able to do it and then do it in Melbourne of all places, like she said, everything aligned for her 100th test to be here. And yeah, like she said, she's joined us such a special group, and to be a mid-quarter in that group too, absolutely incredible. And we'll get around it tonight and celebrate it and celebrate Kazi's 50th too, because they're both huge milestones for anyone in our group to make. But yeah, super proud of her.
Courtney, what did you make of the series? Obviously, like a clean sweep, 3-0. Pretty convincing. You must be pretty pleased.
Yeah, definitely really pleased, and I'm happy to get out there and try some different combinations. For myself, playing with Tilly, probably haven't done that a lot, so that was really nice to test that out, and then again today to play with Sarah. So I think it's been really good to get the combinations out there and know that, this is kind of our last test before we go into a Com Games, before we go into battle against each other for a couple of months.
Stacey, do you feel settled on the combinations and then the team heading into the Com Games now?
I don't think you can ever feel settled with our group. I think there's such a squad mentality as to how the group goes about the way in which they improve their performance all the time. So there's real strength and competition within. But I think the thing that has really shifted is the real mentality of we before me. So there's individual drive and ambition to be selected, but what they're doing is driving a connection, a level of trust, a real understanding of how they want to play the game. So selection is incredibly hard, and I think the thing the girls can do from this series is say they stepped out on court and they played their role, and I can't ask for more than that.
How well do you both feel in terms of how well positioned do you both feel ahead of this one? You're both there, 4 years ago, heading into Birmingham, and you're going in as defending champs, trying to do something that's not been done by Australia before. How well placed do you feel compared to maybe this time 4 years ago?
Oh, I think it was a whirlwind when I first came in. You sort of, you don't exactly know what it's going to be like until you're in it, and I think sometimes that's a bonus because you play the moments, and you take your journey and you set a plan and you just really stick to it because that's what you've got to believe in. And I think now that we know what it is like, I think it's just reinforcing that when we put a plan and we're collectively aligned and bought into it, we put ourselves in a good position. And we've added to the way which we played, and we've spoken about not being back to the level of what we did before, because this is a new group. And I think the way in which you even saw the way the ball was moving, our defensive structures we're different, and I think that's the exciting thing is this team has found its identity, and now it's actually seeing what it can achieve together.
Courtney, I guess what do you see in terms of that next step forward? Because winning a title is one thing, but going and defending it when you're the hunted is another.
To be fair, the 4 years feels like it was yesterday, so it's absolutely flown by. I can't believe we're at another Commonwealth Games. Look, obviously we're feeling good after what we were able to put out there for the last 3 games, and I think the best thing about this group is how we train against each other and the competition that we have within our group, but then we also play in the best league in the world. Like, there is nothing that prepares us better when we can't be together than playing in SSN, and I think, like Stacey said, we've added bows to our strings, we've added new defensive things to our toolkits and things that we haven't even been able to put out there yet. And Stacey said to us before going into this game was, how do we want to, I guess, leave this game? How do we want to show the rest of the world what we've got? And I think we close this chapter really well. We move on to the next chapter, and yeah, really excited.
Stacey, a word on Cara. She played her 50th game for the Diamonds tonight, and I thought she did pretty well, 23 from 25. What did you make of her game and just her journey to 50 games?
Yeah, I think, I started my journey with Cara in New Zealand in COVID, and, from where she was then to where she is now. And, there's bumps in the journey, and I think she epitomises the hard work that an individual has to do to be able to perform at the highest level. And I think, she's had, incredible games. She's got a unique way of playing, and I think that's what we love. She's athletic, she can get in the air, she's got a great shot, and she adds a different dimension just by the way in which she plays. So we want that, and when she's at her best, she's flying, and I think she's done an incredible amount of work, particularly since the end of the season all the way through, to be able to get out there and play that well so early on in the season.
Does it sort of start the depth and the strength across the squad that you have Cara start so well, and especially Sophie comes in just sort of slamming it down, and then looking at the centres as well, Jamie Lee Price everywhere, and then you shuffle Liz in there. The intensity didn't drop. Like, it's easy, for things to drop off, but it felt like it actually even went to another level, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is that they know what somebody else is doing, and they've got to be able to contribute to the group performance. And I think that's just the unique thing about this group, is they're really committed. And yeah, it's nice to go, okay, one player lifts it, and then the other players, well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to come out. So it creates headaches for me, but they're really good ones to have.
Just, Courtney, how do you go into SSN now, knowing that, you guys are close to that squad that's going to be the Com Games, but obviously spots are always up for grabs. You all need to keep performances high. How's that for you all?
Yeah, I think we're all excited to get back to SSN clubs. It's literally right around the corner, which is absolutely crazy. But I think we're all just excited to go back and play our roles within our clubs. I think obviously it's what we do in SSN that puts us in a position to be selected for the Com Games. But just keep doing what Stacey and Richo ask us within our units, and hopefully get a phone call and we're there.
Just any injury concerns? I know Cara sort of tweaked something, her ankle or something, but played on. I think Kira obviously had that fall with the shoulder, but she played on as well. So
yeah, all reports are, we tried to say to our clubs we'll hand them back in good shape, and I think the medical team's always on the edge of their seat towards the end of a series. But they've done an incredible job, and they've been training like a pre-season as well. So as hard as they ran, they've been doing a lot of leg heavy work over this period of time. So they'll slide back into their environments now, and now we hand over and get to watch some really good competitive netball week in, week out.